Good afternoon. My name is Miles Monhollen, and I've been hired by CC Pharmaceuticals for the purpose of conducting a needs assessment, developing training on job crafting, testing that training out, and evaluating the effectiveness of the program by determining an improvement in engagement. In this analysis, we'll be going over some of the results, how we got those results, as well as a few of those recommendations. So let's jump right in. For the first analysis, we surveyed 120 people by splitting them into groups of individuals who took your current training, who took the new training, and who took no training at all. And then after two of those groups took their specified training, we gave it a week and surveyed those individuals. We used what is called a one-way ANOVA that allows us to compare 3 or more groups with different people in each group, as we have done here. I wanted to point out a couple of things in this data that were valuable to me. So when we look at all of this, 2 of the things that stand out to me are the large F statistics. When I see this, I know we might be dealing with means that are larger, with large variances. Next, I look at those p-values that tell me that anything below 0.05 is going to be significant. And in this case, overall job crafting and increasing job demands and challenges passed that initial eye test. So next I will run a separate analysis to compare each of these 4 groups on the left side here to each of the 3 different types of trainings you see in the last 3 columns. And again, the same 2 areas stand out to me along with the no training area, because in this case, they have the greatest difference in means. What this tells me is that our survey results were significantly better on overall job crafting and job demands as opposed to no training at all. A side note, it also appears that the job crafting training was insignificantly better all the way across the board over the original training and no training. The next set of data shows the 43 individuals that we surveyed to determine their work engagement before and after the job crafting training. Now you will see just 42 data points, and that is because we had an error on one that we had to completely eliminate. Now in this case, we conducted a paired sample t-test, which is a great method to use when we're just looking at 2 groups with the same people in each group. And the first thing that I would look at here is the p-value. Again, we're looking at that 0.05, and if it's greater than that, then you know it's not going to be significant. And in this case, what I see is that we can't reject that null hypothesis. So there's just not enough evidence here to determine whether or not there is a significant difference in the 2 measurements. I will say this though, just looking at the mean improvement of 0.20 from pre-test to post-test, it's still a marginal improvement that may be worth further analyzing. So my final recommendations are in the summary that all of you have copies of, but I will briefly discuss them here. Number 1 would be to focus on the piece around increasing job demands and challenges. This is the low-hanging fruit that could yield the strongest results long-term. Number 2 would be to focus on overall job crafting. There are some slight improvements. This doesn't prove that the training programs cause the difference in scores, so it may be worth evaluating each of those dimensions a bit more. And number 3 would be to consider a more controlled group than the 41 we used before. This is a smaller sample size and it could skew the results, so putting in a controlled group could be valuable. Again, that mean improvement of 0.2 is still worth looking into a little bit more for me. So I appreciate everybody's time, and if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to check out the full report. Thank you.